I think the Celtics again, they're honestly overrated. And
You think so?
Yeah, and
Are you putting your biased Lakers? Or
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even have to. I think present day. I'm gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit. Present day, you can see that.
yes,
Like they're 3-1 to Miami.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of says a lot about their culture and what they've built over there, and kind of like their expectations of what they should be and like where they actually are. I just think they're really cocky and overstated.
We busy, 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 we busy. That bitch so pretty, got a mean girl just like Lindsay. Said she fucking with me, making drives across the city. Swear this shit can get too litty. Pushing be like Diddy, you ain't B-boy, who you kidding? At the top, I see you there. In LA, I see you there. At the space, I see you there. Texas State, I see you there. I know y'all go crazy, y'all be turning up in the square. Take another pill and we can turn up just by anywhere. Hit you in and say yeah, just to see if there's a feelings there.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the official first episode of Three Man Weave. I am your co-host CJ. Here with the one and only ZD. Introduce yourself, man. Let them know who you are, man.
ZD, y'all already know if you know me. I go by Zach if you don't know me, so it's what up. It's whatever. But I'm chilling. Yeah, I'm just here to talk about hoops with my boy CJ.
Mm-hmm.
We're over here. We're gonna bring y'all 3-man weave. So glad y'all checking it out.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I just wanted to, make a podcast talking about basketball and stuff because this past year, I think it just made me really appreciate the sport and like to really embrace it because I've been a fan since I was like a little kid, bro. And we'll get into it like later on, and we'll kind of introduce ourselves how we got into it. But
yeah, me and him have kind of been chatting about it for a little second. And we just kind of wanted to make sure that we get out this video kind of like before the finals. So we're gonna be chatting kind of about everything up until that point. But like you said, we're gonna kind of get into that kind of while we're chatting about it and like who we are, of course, and what makes us love basketball. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I guess, thank you, ZD, for being a part of this adventure. And, hopefully, it'll turn into some great things. And, obviously 3-man weave, but there's only two people. Why is it? It was just a play on words. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a dope.
If y'all hooped, y'all know
you
the
know
drill.
what that is.
You know the drill.
You know what that is.
If you've played basketball, you definitely know what a 3-man weave is.
So, and I feel like that was a good way to have, we can get guests on or we could get other people on. It doesn't need to just be us two. It doesn't even need to be both of us. It could be one of our friends that are super into hoops, and he brings people on. And you know what I mean? So just try to like have it be a platform just to talk about hoops, man. Like because shout out to Opinionated Boys. You know what I'm saying? We just hit 1,000 followers on IG. Shout out to the boys, but they have their
and I'm repping A-Town Down. Y'all know who it is.
Oh yeah, come on now. If you know, you know what I'm saying. But
that stuff's coming soon.
They have a football podcast, so I wanted to add a little bit of value to the sports world for all of us, and just have a platform for people to come on and chop up about hoops. So thank you, ZD. And I guess if you just want to,
I can get into it. If you want.
Start it off, man.
Dude. So I'm ZD. I'm Zach Dole. So that's my name. I guess I'll kind of start at the beginning. So I was born in Sacramento, California. It's the capital, but it's nothing too serious. I feel like LA should definitely be the capital, but it's whatever.
Facts. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a humble little place. I moved here at a young age, but I had always been around hoops, man. Like ever since a young age, like CJ was saying earlier. Ever since the age of like 2, I had like the little Tykes hoops. So I've always been interested in hoops.
Yeah.
I moved to Texas at a young age because my dad got a job over at UT. I've lived in Austin ever since. So I've been here since I was like 5 or 6. So I've been here for a while. Mm-hmm. And over here, honestly, there's a pretty good hoop culture. I feel like it's pretty underrated.
For sure.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like there's some pretty good hoopers that have come out of here that haven't necessarily gone to the NBA, but they've made like a name for themselves around in this culture.
Hooping.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely played basketball like throughout kind of like elementary, middle school, and high school.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm pretty well versed. I played AAU. I started AAU probably at the age of 12, I think it was.
Oh, shit.
And I played all the way up until my senior year whenever I graduated. So
yeah.
I'm all in love with hoops, man. It's
That's
like
your favorite sport?
Yeah,
for sure?
that's definitely my favorite sport. It's what I breathe. So yeah, I'm really excited to kind of talk to y'all about the stuff we've kind of we've dissected and kind of learned about this season and kind of what's been happening in the playoffs. So, but yeah, that's kind of a backstory about me. But yeah, I breathe hoops. So.
Yeah, awesome. And then I like knew that you were like that, so I
sure.
needed to like have someone that like genuinely loved hoops. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And like a lot of my friends, they like basketball or like they like football. And like they'll fuck with basketball, but they haven't been watching it for that long.
No,
I mean,
for
like
sure.
we're, sorry to bring it up, Alex, but we had brought up yesterday at the round table that there's only one Melo, and that's Carmelo Anthony, not LaMelo Ball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
what
So
that was
he was joking, but like still, like if you know, man, Melo's a GOAT
for sure.
in his own right. But yeah, so my name is CJ. For everyone that doesn't know, Park Hard Talks, Opinionated Media.
You've been doing
Co-host, and I just, like I said, wanted to have a podcast where I could sit down and chop it up about hoops, just because it's my favorite sport. So, and I really wanted to be able just to have conversations about it, because I watch a podcast in my free time called Through the Wire. Shout out to them, and they talk about hoops and stuff. So I wanted to be able to sit down and chop it up since we've actually, I've been doing a podcast for a little over a year and a half now. So it's like, let's do it, So
and we've had like pretty good conversations off camera about it. So.
Bro, so many. Like even like
plenty,
just wanted to like invite you over and like have you watch a game with me type shit. Just because it's like cool to like engage.
Yeah, we actually haven't even done that yet, but we're gonna get around to doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
We might, do a little like little
finals,
stream or something,
Yeah, a little final stream or something.
Yeah, hell yeah. But I was hooping, like you said, had a little Tykes hoop. Just shooting it, like running off a screen and pulling up. Like I was that like running around the couch, like throwing the ball to yourself type shit. And even the little hoops that went on like the doors was like dunking like on those. Yeah. So shit like that, bro. And then I hooped a little bit when I was in Vegas. I was like 6th grade. Like I wasn't the best. Like I was like a bigger kid, so I've always like kind of slow and shit. But I could shoot.
What position you play?
I was like a point guard, shooting guard type. Sure. More a shooting guard, because I really wasn't like coming down the court and like making a play. But I was like, if you leave me open, I'm gonna shoot that shit. You know what I mean? So I was that type of player. And then that was like 6th grade, and then I came here in 7th grade, and I don't think I was playing like on some fun shit, like going to the park, hooping and stuff, hooping with my family. Yeah. And then in 9th grade, I was in like PYBA.
Okay, freshman year.
Freshman year, or like I think it was freshman year. I was in PYBA. We did that season. And I think in the off season for like basketball, because I didn't make it my freshman year, so I just was in the class all year long. So I was doing drills and stuff. And like funny enough, the more I think about this, like I low-key tore my ACL doing like a 3-man weave.
Oh man!
So like
in the actual drill?
Yeah, like everything comes like full circle, I guess. But that's kind of crazy to think of. But was doing a 3-man weave, and the person that was in front of me like kind of cut me off, and I had to like adjust, and my knee just
shifted real quick.
Yeah, and my knee just gave out. And that was my freshman year of high school, so. Didn't really hoop in high school, and then I ended up tearing my meniscus in the same knee while I was recovering, like at the end of my surgery. So, had like a very weird relationship with basketball for the longest. Like, you know what I mean? Like I loved it, and I like wanted to be like, that was my thing. Like I wanted to go to college to be a hooper. Like that was my dream, but like it kind of ended early. You know what I mean? So, but I like still kept up with it, and I loved the sport.
You like watching balls live?
Yeah,
like you were one of those kids. Yeah.
Like
I got you, man.
What was the one that you put? Marcus Lovett?
Marcus Lovett.
Like I knew who that was. Right?
No, for sure.
Yeah, you posted that show on your Instagram, 100%. And I completely understood.
Yeah, like those are the hoopers, that I'm talking about. Like that's how I was in, in those communities.
Yeah,
I was,
even like the
really
Austin
tight.
Rivers one.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
for sure. Like
so, just always like wanted to like watch it.
Yeah.
And like got super into it, and obviously Hoop Dreams got cut a little short, But I mean, I could hold my own. Like I'm not the best, but I could hold my own. You know, I'm not gonna let someone just like fuck me
still play
up.
right
You know
now.
what I mean? Yeah, type shit.
Exactly.
Like, of course, like my knees kind of like not the strongest, so I don't try to all the time. But when I do, like I have fun. You know. But no, that was kind of my introduction to hoops, and like I said, obviously within that time, I was keeping up. Like, you know, I guess we could kind of go into the next like thing, like who our favorite players was and stuff like that.
Sure.
Growing up,
inspired us
who really made me want to like watch hoops? Like it was Tracy McGrady, bro.
Okay.
Like when he was for played for Houston with like Yao Ming and shit like that. That's what really got me into hoops. Like was it like 05? Like
that's
06,
young.
Like,
I was young during that. So I'm only 21.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like LeBron really.
LeBron when?
Like probably Bron like early Cavaliers, 2006, 2007.
Okay,
like,
this that's around the same time then.
Because this is about around the age I was able to kind of process like what was going on and like
how old
special.
Were you? Like 8?
Yeah, I was like 6 at the time.
Oh
7.
shit!
So I was very young.
Yeah.
But I remember kind of like when he was playing against the Spurs and when they got swept in that finals.
Oh yes.
Like I remember being able to process like how crazy it was for him to like drag that team and
he was like 22.
That. Yeah. So for me, it's definitely LeBron James. But I think that's for a lot of people like my age. It's like probably LeBron or Kobe, of course, R.I.P. Mamba.
Yeah, R.I.P. for real, man.
Yeah, like hoopers like that. I think Tracy McGrady's probably an underrated one.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously he's crazy and he got hurt too. You know, obviously, you know, he was going to be something really, really special. And, you know, his career got cut short. But yeah, dude, definitely for me, it was LeBron.
LeBron, hell yeah. Yeah, it was T-Mac, and then, you know, once he kind of like fizzled out, KD kind of like was coming into the picture,
KD.
like 07.
Yeah.
Like I think it was 07 when he got drafted.
Young KD.
And he was from
Sonics
UT.
KD.
Sonics, yeah. So UT boy. Like I didn't live here at the time.
Okay.
Like I'm originally from Vegas.
Okay.
So I didn't see that. You know what I mean? Like, I came here in 2010. So he was already at OKC, and I was like already a KD fan at that time. So, and then, you know, obviously, like just watching that, seeing who he became and what that team became, and like I always bring it up to you, bro, because it like hits close to home, just what we're doing and stuff. Like, kind of appreciate what you have around, because KD, Westbrook, and Harden were all on the same team, and they're all like MVPs. So, like, you know, kind of just appreciate that, because like, you know,
you got some special people
around you.
A
lot of good people around you that like you don't know what they're gonna like turn into, you know.
Exactly.
So, but no, yeah. So obviously Thunder were on my like favorite team growing up, and even to this day, like, you know, like season is like looking bright. Like I'm like proud to be a Thunder fan right now. You know what I mean? Such a young team that has a lot of potential. So
and oddly enough, you know, like I'm a Lakers fan. You know, I would say I'm proud to be a Lakers fan too right now. And honestly, like I said, LeBron, like he when he came to the Lakers, I was always a Lakers fan because my dad was really, really a fan of Kobe. And you know, obviously Kobe is like probably the greatest Laker ever in my opinion.
For sure.
So like, yeah, you know, I grew up watching the Lakers, so I'm naturally a fan of them. So it's pretty cool for me to see like my childhood idol, somebody who inspired me to like go to that team, and of course win an NBA championship there, and then like obviously what they've done this year is no, for sure. And then obviously what they've done this year was pretty like cool to see them have that turnaround season.
I'm
right there with you.
I was about to say, I was telling you about it too, bro. Like the fact that like you could be proud to be a Laker fan, you know what I mean? Like y'all weren't supposed to be in the position. Like, I mean, we'll definitely talk about it once it gets to that point. But like, you know, like y'all were like 2-10.
I definitely am proud.
Yeah, 2-10 at the start of the season, 7th seed, and y'all made it to the Western Conference Finals. Like, yeah, like you could like hold your head up high, like,
for sure.
Even though y'all got swept, but like, I mean,
by a really great team,
a great team, probably like one of the
greatest teams in a while,
in a long time. So it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I guess we could go into.
We can kind of hop into
our questions.
Yeah, like the stuff that we're gonna kind of be talking about. So we were kind of like go through each matchup and kind of analyze kind of what's happened and, you know, kind of how that impacts what you know, the organizations and the players that, you know, are on those teams. So I don't know, what game would you like to start with, or matchup would you like to start with?
Shit, man, I think we should just kind of. I want to talk about this one.
Okay, you want to talk about last. Okay, for sure.
I think we could just go we can start on the West and then go to the East. Yeah.
Okay, for
sure. So 1-8, Denver,
okay, for sure.
Minnesota.
Yeah, so Minnesota.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, this is the 1 versus 8 seed matchup. So this was Denver versus Minnesota. This matchup was interesting, dude. I personally thought that the Timberwolves actually played well.
Yeah.
If you were watching the game, did you watch them?
Yeah, I watched them.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I thought that they played well. Obviously, the Nuggets are the Nuggets; they're the one seed in the NBA.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the Timberwolves actually had some things to like hold their head high about, like in this series, and I think one of them's Anthony Edwards' confidence.
Oh, without a doubt.
Obviously, if you guys know ball, like Anthony Edwards is really coming into like his own. I feel like that's kind of what that series was about for me when I was watching. I kind of knew, obviously, the Nuggets were gonna go on.
I really thought they were gonna sweep.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna sweep too. They had that gentleman's sweep.
Yeah,
they got Minnesota got one. But watching Ant for me has been a joy.
Yeah,
I think this season was really cool to see him grow up, and that playoff series was really like I think for him was really a growth spot. And I feel like obviously the Timberwolves are kind of in a spot where they kind of traded everything that they have for these. For Rudy Gobert, basically.
Yeah.
So they have these two big guys and then Anthony Edwards. So they're in a little bit of a rough patch, but I feel like they played well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I think their bright spot was definitely Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
and I feel like I think even the Timberwolves organization had said it. Like I think they're wanting to build around him. So that is definitely the smart thing to do. I don't like that Gobert trade. Y'all gave up a lot of y'all's future to get him, and I don't really think he's like that.
That's a whole nother thing.
And but as a team, like I said, I really thought a sweep was about to happen. But I'm glad they at least got one game, got more experience, and like at this point for me, I just really want to see competition in all the every single matchup. Right? I don't want it to be it's a 1-8, it's gonna be a blowout. We'll talk about it in the Eastern Conference, obviously, but it was like that.
Yeah, it really was.
And I feel like the play-in just added more competition to the league, and I really do love the play-in because it gives that 10th seed an opportunity to fight to get into the playoffs, because that's essentially what you're wanting as a young team,
Yeah,
and that's what that 10-8 seed is.
Right.
It's usually a young team that is trying to get comfortable with each other so they can hoop and stuff, or a team that struggled like the Lakers and were just getting their footing in at the end of the season. Right. So I love it, honestly. Yeah, but no, I mean Jokic is Jokic. I don't think that's kind of what summed up that series for me.
Yeah, I think it's less about the Nuggets and more about the Timberwolves. I think that's kind of what me and CJ are both agree on. It's like Ant. I think they have some questions to answer about Cat and Rudy Gobert. Still kind of what they're gonna do. The Timberwolves at least. Really?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, bro, at this point, I don't.
I haven't heard that from anybody. Why do you say that?
I would if I was the Timberwolves personally, because I feel like just like his.
Why?
I think he's good. I just don't think he's
he's all that.
Yeah.
I think. That's you pose an interesting question with that, and we'll kind of. I think there will be a few interesting questions within these matchups. Kind of these teams have some decisions to make in the offseason with some of the players that they have on their roster, because it's obvious to me that Cat isn't the guy, right? It's Ant.
Yeah.
So it's true. I think they should shop Cat in a sense where it's you gotta see what you can get for.
Let's say you get,
Cat is back, right?
Cat is an all-star player. You'll probably be at least be able to get 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks.
Right, a decent haul for
you're going to be able to get some players.
Yeah, so I think the point is that just the Timberwolves got to be this season they or this offseason they have to be pretty blunt in what they're trying to achieve, and they know that it's Anthony Edwards is the guy. I think all of us know that in this room, even that aren't doing the podcast right now, know that Anthony Edwards is the guy. So it's that. It was less about the Nuggets and more about the Timberwolves for us.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's kind of what that matchup was about.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the next one. 2-7 Memphis versus Lakers. I think you're the Lakers fan over here. I want to hear what your thoughts on that one.
This was a really eye-opening series for me. And if you're a Lakers fan, the trades that happened at the deadline really improved our roster a lot. And
crazy.
This series really showed those improvements and how much those can change a playoff series. This was about Anthony Davis and Jared Vanderbilt and Austin Reeves, and those guys kind of coming together and just gelling at the right time. The Grizzlies, I think, have always been kind of overrated to me. I'm not a Grizzlies fan. I think they do have a really good young core. I think they have they have bright young players. I think, Jaws, he's kind of going through a tough time right now, but we all know Jaws. Like, we're never going to hate on Jaw. We he's always got our full support. Like, but yeah, just the Grizzlies have always been kind of a weird team to me, but for me, this was just about seeing the Lakers gel at the right time and kind of that roster really coming together. Yeah. And it was really nice to see. I think Memphis has a lot of things to work on too. Yeah. I think they made some good, additions at the deadline. They got Luke Kennard and like a few other guys, and that's a good. Those are good pickups. But again, they just have like other things they got to work on, and I think they might be off the court. Like I don't know if it's even on the court stuff. I think it might be like literally team chemistry things. That stuff's got to be solved in the offseason and in team training camp. So man, it was about the Lakers for me. Seeing that roster gel, seeing how well they're playing together, and then kind of how that was going to translate to the next series.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, same way. Like I feel like this was a very good test for the Lakers. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like if they couldn't beat them, then like they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. Yeah, type of vibe. Obviously, like it's how it was
a good test.
It was a good all right, if y'all can beat this good young team that is, the second team in the West, they're the second seed. No, it was great to see a lot of those role players step up into the role, especially Austin Reeves. Like I think that was when he kind of he started to show people like he's really like that. Just a good player, like a smart player that is gonna go out there and like do what he needs to do to win.
And I think again, the Grizzlies had they have like Desmond Bane was hooping. I think Ja was doing his thing. I think Ja
was also injured too.
Yeah, Ja was hurt. I think what was it? It was his wrist, his hand or something. I think he was kind of a little bit reckless. Again, like the Grizzlies have things they got to work on, other stuff.
It's just
that's
a young
not
team,
NBA. Like it's not hoop. No, it's like off the court stuff, or it's like learning how to like not get hurt when you fall and like other stuff. Just
take care of your body.
Yeah, just weird stuff like that. Yeah, they're young.
That's why, like, I don't know.
Steven Adams wasn't there. Yeah. Like, I think that was a big loss.
Yeah, who was there? Someone else was injured as well. I think it was, like, their other big man. I don't remember.
And then Dylan Brooks was being Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
And that was a nightmare. So, that concoction added up to 4-2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey.
Lakers. So, that was really cool to see. And like I said, I was excited to see how that was going to translate to whoever we played in the next matchup. So,
so I guess let's go into the 4-5 matchup: Phoenix versus Clippers.
This one was cool.
I guess I'll start this one off. This one was crazy, man. I think was it game one that the Clippers won, and Kawhi was there and dropped like 37 or something,
almost 40.
Yeah, like so.
He's such a good player, bro.
I don't know what it is with Kawhi, man. I think it might be something like off the court stuff too.
Yeah, bro.
Like I think his just head isn't like in the game,
right?
Because when he's playing, he's clearly one of the best players in the league.
And this is a big deal because Kawhi is kind of the Clippers.
He is. So
wherever Kawhi goes,
it sucks to say, but he's always injured.
Yeah,
and he's obviously one of the best players in the league as well. But they can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
and I feel like that is what summarized this series, which is health for the Clippers. Yeah. If they were healthy, they probably would have been able to beat the Suns, even with as explosive as KD and Booker.
And the Russell Westbrook resurgence.
And I love that.
That
too. That was when they won because Russ got that like block on.
Yeah, for sure.
And like threw it.
It was kind of like, but it was because, and like CJ's saying, it was because guys were hurt that Russ was able to do that again and kind of show that he was still capable of that. So a lot of things have to go right for the Clippers to be good, basically.
Yeah. And then the Suns wise, just they got Devin Booker and they got
36.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, 36. Yeah, that's an interesting. Matt Ishbia, their owner, kind of went all in during the trade deadline on KD, and I'm sure you guys know by now he plays for the Suns. But that trade was really big. I think it kind of sent shockwaves through the NBA, and I'm honestly not like a super big Kevin Durant fan, but I understand like, he's a 7-foot demigod. He can shoot from anywhere. So I understand you're going to get a huge haul for him. Yeah. Hopefully that works out for the Suns. I think in this series it did. Booker and Durant were able to carry them like long enough to get over that hump. I think if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are healthy, how do you think this series goes? Because I feel like it's
wouldn't
different.
have been a 5-game series. It probably would have been a 7.
Yeah, it was
easily.
7.
And I think that's game 7.
I think the NBA was expecting 7.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, I think it was like one of those things where I think when Kawhi kind of was like, oh, I'm hurt magically. And he always does that too. He magically.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, he magically just goes ghost.
It sucks.
There's a few players that do that, and we'll kind of talk about that later. But
yeah,
that series was all 36. Just Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Those guys are crazy. Probably both Hall of Famers, so first ballot.
Hell yeah. And then I guess we can finish this last one off.
Warriors, right.
Sacramento, Golden State.
This series was the best of the first round to me.
Easily.
I
mean, obviously, the only game that went to 7 in the West. So
super special.
Yeah, I guess
this was a battle. Again, I think this is the greatness of Steph Curry. This is what the series reminds me of. Is kind of like that was the takeaway I got. It's not that I need to be reminded of that, but it was more that like I think he kind of reminded the world of that. Like if anybody forgot, it was kind of that. Shout out to the Kings, man. I'm from Sacramento. Like I said earlier, they're really, really good, talented and really good. I think the Domantas Sabonis trade really unlocked a lot of things for them. I think he goes in the playoffs. That's a whole nother like problem. Yeah. There's a few players that do, but Sabonis is one of them, and that's sad. De'Aaron Fox does not. That's really cool to see.
Yeah.
He was balling. That's another takeaway that I got, that he's the real deal.
Yes.
I don't know if people don't know that, but De'Aaron Fox is, he's the real deal. He deserves to be an all-star.
Yeah.
There's a reason that he's going to get $250 million and, super max. Like, De'Aaron Fox is the guy. But yeah, he's shown that, and Malik Monk too. I think again, it's the resurgence of Malik Monk. If you didn't know about Malik Monk, he's the real deal too. He's really, really good. So the Kings have some really bright things, but obviously this was kind of about Steph Curry, in my opinion.
Yeah,
He kind of just was torching them from 3-point land. I think he was averaging like 35 this series. So.
Yeah, ridiculous.
50 points in a game 7.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, that pretty much summed up the series right there, because the Kings were hooping.
Yeah,
man.
they were
like,
playing
that was
so
such
well.
a good series. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not like a Curry hater or nothing, but I just want to see a team that hasn't had any playoff success in the past, or hasn't made the playoffs in like 16 years. I just wanted to see them play again, because like it's possible for them to get to that point. They have those pieces to get there. It's just they're a young team, and I think this was. I mean, going to a game 7 would definitely teach you a lot of things in the league.
Oh, for sure.
And especially at that, they're like my age, like Fox is like 25, 26.
So young.
So like he still has time, and I think next year they're
had the coach of the year too.
Yeah, absolutely. He deserved it too. Yeah. So it's like it's dope to see them being successful, and I'm excited. Like this, I'm more looking forward to what they're doing this upcoming year.
Yeah,
honestly, because if they were number 3 seed this season. And like, there's injuries and stuff like that, but like, I think they could probably potentially still be at least a top 4 seed next year.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see that. But.
Yeah, this was by far the best series to me in the first round, the most interesting. But yeah, that was really special to see. I'm happy to see how Sacramento's gonna grow.
Hell yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I guess we could go into the next series. It was the first seed versus the 4th seed, Denver versus Phoenix. Denver 1-6. So I guess like, what were your takeaways from this series?
Honestly, I just think Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are crazy. They shouldn't have even won 2 games.
No, they shouldn't.
Honestly, I just think, again, like my takeaways from both sides are obviously completely different. I think the Suns really, really need depth. Like the Suns are kind of lost. I think like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant cannot just carry you to wins in the playoffs every single time. They can't play like 48 minutes that's just not a recipe for success. So my takeaway from that was kind of like they just need more on the bench. They just need more in general. I think Monty Williams needed more, and it sucks that he got fired for that, but because it really wasn't his fault. I think Matt Ishbia really was the one who did that because he wanted Kevin Durant. But again, my takeaway from the Suns is that they just need more. But the Nuggets, man, they're so good.
Jokic,
they're insane. Jokic.
He had 53 points in a loss.
Right, he hit 53 when they lost. Of course, Jamal Murray too.
Jamal Murray, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, he's definitely hooping.
They were again. They're the Nuggets. They're the 1 seed in the NBA. They're crazy. Yeah. So that was that. My takeaway from the Nuggets was they're really, really good. I honestly, so I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
I don't like Denver at all. So I try not to watch them a ton, and I like Jokic a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's hard not to like him, but
Yeah.
I like Jokic, so I try to watch Denver a little bit, but like I was watching them all, like I've been watching them throughout the playoffs, and I've been like shocked with how well they've been playing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I've got from that series, was I was like, oh
yeah,
like Denver's the real deal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like you're saying what I'm
what
thinking as well. Like, I mean, Devin Booker, KD. I mean, what more could you ask for? They won them 2 games, and I think they were both averaging like 35 or something like that. Like something ridiculous.
Heroic,
like,
dude.
Yeah, like I think Booker shot like 70% in like all
Devin
all the
Booker
games.
was
like,
going crazy.
I don't know. I mean, there's not much you could say about that. And then just
Legit,
Denver
like,
having probably the best player that's still in the playoffs right now in Jokic. So
I think he's the best player in the world to me.
Yeah.
Probably right now. Yeah,
I was,
like they have the best player in the world right now.
Yeah,
and like even with Devin Booker going nuclear, like CJ was talking about, it's like it's not even enough because they have Jokic. So takeaways are that it's like we think Phoenix needs more, and they do, and we'll kind of talk about that whenever we do our offseason video. And then, the Nuggets are the Nuggets, and I think the Nuggets are kind of, they might be starting a dynasty, maybe.
Yeah,
if
maybe
people can stay healthy.
Yeah, I won't say that yet. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
if they can win this one, I feel like that would be not enough, but you won a championship, so you're gonna be like solidified in the NBA world. But maybe not even a dynasty, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of good teams are gonna be getting better in the West, so it's gonna be a lot harder. It's not gonna, I mean, not trying to be biased, but OKC, what I'm saying, is on the rise, and we have a lot of draft capital. So
yeah, the OKC is definitely coming. I think Shay's. I'm
ready for
Shay's
it.
Ready.
Shay's
been ready.
And like I'm going to be like talking my shit too, because
100%.
like I've been a fan through the downs, which is only missing like 2 seasons, but like realistically, like we have not been a championship contender since Russ left. Realistically,
okay. Yeah, no, for sure.
So and the
MVP,
fact, MVP, like you know what I mean. So
when he was dragging y'all along in the
I wouldn't
playoffs.
even say that season. Like that was still like, oh, I mean, he might not even make it to the championship. Yeah. But if he did, it'd be like, oh, Russ is like that. And sure. I mean, he is like that. Obviously, he's MVP for a reason, but not championship like him winning one by himself. Like,
right.
But
I guess stands.
On to the next series, your Lakers versus the Warriors.
Yeah, the Lakers just showing me that they're still capable, and LeBron's still capable. I think my takeaway for me was that LeBron and Steph Curry are both getting older, and they're human. They're if you play them 45 minutes a night, they're gonna get tired too. Those guys are both kind of pushing upwards of 30, 40 on now almost. I think Curry's 35, Bron's 38. So, these guys are definitely getting older, but it was nice to see the Lakers battle. Again, I think Anthony Davis played a really good series. Yeah. I think, again, like, especially defensively, man, like he's been amazing. I think he's been really wishy-washy. Like he hasn't been super consistent. He's been really up and down, but I think his defensive effort's been good throughout the playoffs. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the reason why we even went so deep and we were even able to kind of get swept by the Nuggets. But yeah, I think Golden State, I think their dynasty could be over.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway. That's another takeaway that I'm kind of, as I'm, talking, I'm thinking about too.
Thinking about it and stuff, yeah.
I think their dynasty might kind of not necessarily be over, but there's going to be a little stop in the road.
Yeah.
But again, the Lakers just showing me they can battle, showing me that their roster's still, intact. Again, I think the Lakers are one of the more elite teams in the NBA.
For sure.
Like that's what they were showing me. So I was very impressed with my Lakers. Yeah. And obviously I'm a little biased, but that's kind of
of course.
That's kind of both sides.
Yeah. I was about to say, I mean, as an outsider looking into this series, you at this point you can't count Curry out and you can't count LeBron out. So it was just a good series as a basketball fan. We haven't seen them play since, was it the 2017 finals?
Yeah, it was the finals.
You know what I mean? So, and that was
a minute ago.
A long time ago. So getting to see these two type of players play against each other again, and there's history and, just a lot of stuff between the organizations and stuff recently. It's like, it's dope to see, this was one of those series that could have went 7, and I wouldn't have been surprised,
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
I mean, the fact that they got it done in 6, like, the Lakers role players, man, just really stepped up.
Yeah,
I think was that the series that like fucking what's his name?
Who? Because I know them.
Fuck the dude, that point guard from San Antonio.
Lonnie
Went off in like the fourth quarter, third quarter.
Yeah, bro. He had like 15 straight points.
Yeah.
And
so
again,
it's dope to see that, like the players battling. and that is what separates the great teams from the good teams. The teams that are able to, you don't have to rely just on your main player to score and win you the games. Like your role players, if they're open, they're gonna make their shots, and you need that. And that's what I got out this series, and that's why they obviously made it to the Western Conference Finals, where they went against Denver, and obviously y'all got swept.
Right.
So I guess as a Lakers fan, what are your thoughts? And you kind of mentioned it earlier that you're holding your head up high, even though y'all got swept. And I guess just kind of give us your thoughts.
Yeah, this is recent now. Like now we're kind of like present almost. I would say
this is like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, this is like recently. Yeah. I'm impressed still. Like I'm still thankful for the season. I also I think it's crazy how I was just talking so highly of the Lakers, and now it's like I'm thankful for the season. But it's really like that. Like I just think the Nuggets are so dominant. Again, like that was my takeaway from the series.
Yeah,
it's like Nikola Jokic is so dominant. It's getting insane to the point where we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like not even the best teams are really, gonna step anywhere near the Nuggets stratosphere just because of that dude. So I was watching it. I was in California for it. So that was pretty cool too, to kind of see that atmosphere and kind of see like how the fans were actually reacting in like real time. But it was tough, but I have respect for the Nuggets. Again, that was kind of my takeaway for them, is like they're just dominant and they deserve to be in the finals. And it was kind of a cakewalk, honestly. If you look at the well, yeah, we can do that at the end, but if we look at the bracket, it was kind of a cakewalk for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm proud of the Lakers. Again, the role players, I think D'Lo really struggled in this series.
Yeah,
like
really
as a
bad.
player,
had people on Twitter saying that trading Westbrook was like the worst thing they did.
Yeah, like D'Lo struggled.
Yeah.
He was not good, and I think that might kind of haunt him this offseason. But I think LeBron's just, again, I said it earlier, but just older. It's like reality.
Yeah.
Like I think I saw him gassed. Like I've never actually seen him tired, like really tired. And like he looked tired.
Bro, you saw what he said, right?
What did he say? Like in the extra interview, I kind of did. I watched.
Like he said that, like because obviously he said like one of his main goals in his career is to be able to play with Bronny.
Yeah,
and then he said that
the
like
retirement
honestly, after this,
yeah, I think that's a facade.
You think he's just saying that?
Yeah, I think he's getting that to like get y'all,
like make us think that he's retiring.
Yeah, well, if I know Bron, but I don't know Bron, obviously not personal, but I feel like. It was when I saw that, because I saw that Pelinka actually skipped his extra interview because he said that he was like, I don't want him to talk like 20 minutes about it. But yeah, that was kind of what we got from that series. Like, or for me at least personally, it was like the Nuggets are super dominant. LeBron's human.
Yep.
The Lakers still have a little bit of work to do for my fandom, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I was impressed with Jokic, and I'm impressed with the Nuggets this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that was the thing. Obviously the Nuggets were talking about in their like post-game interviews, y'all are talking about how the Lakers are down 0-2, not that the Nuggets are up 2-0.
Right.
Like y'all's narrative is just trying to make it to where
they haven't got the respect they deserve.
Yeah, and I feel like them getting to this point is like good, it's great to see them finally in the conference or in the finals, and like rightfully so. Like y'all deserve to be in these conversations, but up prior to this season, y'all haven't proved it to us. So like, there's no real reason for us to take y'all serious in the playoffs, realistically. So
exactly,
can't really blame them. Like, the media is the media at the end of the day, and they're gonna try to get clicks, and that might have rubbed y'all the wrong way. But now I think we can take y'all serious. Y'all have proven to us you can make it to the finals. So
like
now from
Denver
now on,
Nuggets, we see you.
Yeah, we see y'all, man.
Yeah, like nah, for real.
So that was my takeaway. And then obviously Lakers, didn't go.
What did you think about the Western Conference Finals MVP? Did you think that it should have been Jamal Murray or Jokic? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could. I could have went either way. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those like we could probably have like a debate about it. Really,
yeah.
Because like it is, Obviously, Jokic was averaging.
I thought Murray was gonna win.
Really?
I thought they were gonna give it to him because I think Jokic, if they win the finals, he'll get MVP
For sure.
right.
Yeah.
So I just thought the NBA was gonna do him a solid, but there's no participation trophy. Yeah, there's no participation trophy. Like
yeah, and I said like either way, like you know, at
like,
the end of the day, this is just kind of like bragging rights. Like, oh yeah, exactly. I won that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But like realistically, as a team, I'm pretty sure they're and like that's why I fuck with Jokic too, man. He just seems like he's like a really good dude, and like he doesn't have like. Doesn't feel a certain type of way if like individual awards. He just wants to win a championship at the end of the day.
Dude.
And you know, I feel like as your best player and your leader of a team, like you need that. You need a team player. You don't need that like, oh no, I'm just trying to go out here and win MVP, get all these stats.
I care about all the
empty stats and stuff. So it's dope to see that and. I'm excited
to the Nuggets. Congrats
to the first time
Nuggets.
In franchise history.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And I think it's been since like the 70s.
To you guys.
So shout out to the Nuggets. Yeah. And then I guess we could just get going in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. And
I think talk about the Celtics.
And we'll talk about the Celtics in Atlanta. I mean, this series was cool. Shout out to Trae Young, man.
Yeah, dude.
I think he gets a lot of disrespect in this league just because of I think it's because he doesn't play defense. And like
he's tiny,
you know. I mean, he's like he reminds me of like a James Harden, just not like as big.
No, for
you know
sure.
What I mean, drawing fouls. He can get a bucket. He can facilitate. You know, he's a scoring playmaker. You know what I mean? So.
That's a good takeaway, honestly.
It was dope to see him ball out, and I always love seeing Trae Young in the playoffs. Like he just kind of has
he's always
like
elevated his game.
Yeah,
for sure.
like kind of like you know, we'll get into it later on, but you know, kind of like someone else in this Eastern Conference. You know what I mean? Like they just step it up to another level, and it's always great to see competitive basketball. But you know, I know you're. It comes with the like title being a Lakers fan, but you're not that fond of the series.
Yeah, I'm like I super hate the Celtics. Yeah. Like you know, if you're a Lakers fan, you cannot like green at all. Wear any type of green. Mm-hmm. I don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day. Like you know what I mean, like that type of stuff. But. Yeah, for me again, like Trae Young, super crazy. He's kind of always like elevated his game in the playoffs, so it was really cool to see him do that again. Yeah, I think the Celtics again, they're honestly overrated. And
you think so?
Yeah, and
are you putting your biased Lakers? Or?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even have to. I think present day, I'm gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit. Present day, you can see that.
Yes,
like they're 3-1 to Miami. You know. It kind of says a lot about their culture and what they've built over there and kind of like their expectations of what they should be and like where they actually are. I just think they're really cocky and overstated. But anyways, that wasn't shown in the series. Obviously, they won. So we're talking about this series.
They won in 6.
Yeah, they won in 6. So again, it was kind of the takeaway was like, of course, the Celtics are better than the Hawks. I think for me, Jason Tatum was going crazy too. He had an okay series. Yeah. I think for me, it was kind of like Joe Mazzulla's coaching tactics are really weird. Yeah, that was my takeaway from that series. You think
like that beginning series, like was that things to come for them type of deal? Like,
I think the Philadelphia one was more of that. Yeah, okay. I think the one game against Trae for me that
dumb.
Yeah, when he went dumb, I was like, oh, the Celtics are kind of vulnerable. Yeah, in a way where like the guards, if you get hot, like the guards, you can kind of torch them. Like they don't really have the defense they used to like last year with Ime.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my takeaway. Like I said, like Joe Mazzulla kind of coaches weird. Tatum's good, of course. Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, but yeah, Trae Young, I think for me was more of the takeaway.
Yeah, that was more of what I was like. Hell yeah.
Like and I think that kind of impacts the offseason for him because he's always getting talked about in trade rumors and stuff like that. But I don't know if the Hawks will want to trade him because he's always been a big game performer.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think, you know, my takeaway from this series, for the Hawks at least, this offseason, y'all are consistently making the playoffs, but y'all aren't top team
going anywhere. Yeah.
So it's. I mean, they made it to the conference finals 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago, yeah.
So I mean, y'all have the potential, but there was a lot of injuries, and which there's always, and I hate when people like bring that up because it's a part. It's a part of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
There's gonna be
injury stuff is
So you got to still go out there and hoop. But prior to that season, I mean, these past 2 seasons, y'all haven't really been doing much. Y'all get to like second round maybe, and you know what I mean. And it's like y'all are kind of stagnant. You know, y'all traded for DeJounte Murray and stuff like that, and I don't think that was the right move, honestly.
Yeah,
I feel like,
not for all those picks.
yeah, build the team around Trey, get some good big bodies that can shoot, and I feel like that you'll probably be a top 4 team.
Yeah, and you guys have like Capella and like Okonwu, like young guys. You guys kind of just got in your system that you guys have built up. So
absolutely,
definitely work on that.
I guess we could go on to the next series. We'll do the 4-5 Cleveland versus Knicks. So
the series was sick.
What are your thoughts on that series, man?
Man, Jalen Brunson, bro. Like, I don't know. Because he's newer, I think. Like of course, like he wasn't really around when I was growing up, obviously, because he's young.
Yeah, he's pretty young, man.
But like, man, like a few years ago, or what? This was, I guess, 2 years ago now when he was playing for the Mavericks. Still, I saw him against the Jazz when Luka was out, and he was kind of torching. But he's so good.
Yes,
and he really drives the Knicks to heights I didn't think they could go. I honestly thought the Cavs were going to win this series. That was my takeaway. Is that the Knicks are a little bit better than I had originally anticipated.
Yeah.
What
was your like original guess from this series?
I just thought that Donovan Mitchell would show up.
You thought they'd win?
Yeah,
I
thought Donovan.
6 or
I
what?
thought the Cavs were gonna win in like 5. Bro.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell were gonna show up and like hoop and
absolutely.
Nah.
Even Jared Allen, we thought he was gonna be dominant.
Like, bro, I think he even said something along the lines of
the
like the lights are too bright.
Like what?
What? The lights are too bright in here.
Like, what you talking about?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
we don't crumble under
player,
pressure. Yeah,
you get paid millions of dollars. Like, that's not the right thing to say.
No, not at all.
That kind of goes to show you the culture. Like that's a takeaway for me in itself. It
Yeah.
kind of goes to show you like they weren't ready to hoop, and the Knicks punked them. And Jalen Brunson's the real deal.
Yep.
And yeah, so I just feel like the Cavs kind of underplayed and the Knicks played to their strengths and they played well and they advanced.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, yeah, same thing, man. I mean, I think we watched. It was for Lon. We went out for Lon's birthday and that game was on, and we were just chopping it up, talking about hoops, as we usually do. You know what I mean? And that series was crazy, man. Like Jalen Brunson was just proving to us that he's like really like that, you know. And like I know Mavs fans are probably punching the air right now, wishing that they would have kept him, you know. So it kind of just opened my eyes and see. Also, yeah, I guess, you know, like we just talked about, hearing what Jared Allen just said about it.
Yeah, like it's a real quote.
It's yeah, I mean, like that's kind of crazy. People are using that as memes and shit on Twitter now.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like you can't say that, man. Especially like I mean, trust me, don't get me wrong. I want to see Cleveland do good. Like I always liked like the fact that like y'all's whole franchise has really just been LeBron. And like you haven't really found an identity since he left.
And Kyrie Irving's one big shot.
Yeah, one big shot. Like literally everything prior to that is Braun and then like Mark Price and shit. But like y'all didn't win, so it doesn't matter, you know. So
that's the truth.
You know what I mean? And it's I want them to do good, but if y'all like are talking like that and y'all's one of y'all's best players and you like kind of like crumble under the pressure, then y'all don't deserve to be moving on to the semifinals, you know. So that was my takeaway.
Yeah,
and like Donovan Mitchell, I mean, he usually steps up. I was very shocked.
Yeah, I was shocked too. He
kind of didn't do anything.
Disappeared. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird,
bro. It was a very frustrating series.
It frustrated me too.
Yeah, like I wanted to see that. I thought that was going to go to 7, hands down.
Like I think the Cavaliers might have some things they need to work on in the offseason. They got rid of Kevin Love. Like that was dumb. Like
and he's
there's a
right
few
now.
things that the Cavs need some help. So.
Yeah, I guess we can go on to the next one then. Philly, Brooklyn. I mean, there's not much to say. It was a sweep.
Yeah, this one is not that interesting.
Nah.
I think it was like I didn't expect them to sweep. I thought they would gentlemen sweep. I thought the Nets would get one because
low key, I thought they were gonna sweep.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought McCall Bridges was gonna drop like 40 or something.
I mean, he did.
Yeah, no, he did. It wasn't even enough.
That's more of a testament to how good of a player he is.
That was a takeaway for me.
And how like. Yeah, y'all might have.
Super special.
Yeah, y'all might have lost all the big three that y'all have, but like y'all have Mikal Bridges now, and he has Cam. Oh yeah, that's right.
No, but yeah, you know, but yeah, like I think there's not a ton to say. I think
that was the only sweep in the first round.
Yeah, it was
crazy to think.
But yeah, Embiid's crazy. He had a good, MVP year. That was cool.
Trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. But yeah, it was Tyrese Maxey too. I think for me the takeaway was just seeing the Sixers kind of dominate. I was like, oh, cool, the Sixers are here. I thought they were gonna actually, and we'll talk about it in the next round. But I thought they were gonna take that next step.
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna get that battle, and we did in the next series.
Yeah, we did absolutely. And then I guess go this last
one, man.
I mean, obviously, we all know.
Yeah,
Milwaukee,
this
Miami.
This probably takes the cake for
Miami
me.
winning in 5 games.
Yeah.
1 versus 8.
You want to start it off?
Man, I don't know.
Giannis was hurt.
Yeah, Giannis was hurt, obviously. But even in the game that Giannis was hurt is the game they actually won. So I mean, not much to say about that. But I mean, I just looked like Miami just was kind of in a different level. Like Jimmy Butler is like that, and that's who we were talking about. Like obviously, like Trae Young, they always step up in the playoffs, and he was saying that like no, like their playoff Jimmy isn't real. Like it's the same, and like honestly, bro, like I don't know what it is about you in the playoffs, but you definitely turn up and you like go crazy, man. It's crazy to see. This is like the closest thing since I guess LeBron really was in Cleveland, but like prior to that Kobe, that
type of like heroics.
Yes,
like I haven't seen that type of competitive fire. I think he was screaming at Drew. The point is like the Heat are the real deal in the playoffs, like when it matters.
Yeah, and
it showed in the series, and I think that's a big takeaway for us. Was kind of like Giannis is obviously great. The Bucks are great, and again they fired like Budenholzer because of this series. But
which I think like they should. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think they should have too. I think he didn't make any adjustments. No, he didn't double Jimmy, but it just goes to show you that Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler are like not to be fucked with, and like I mean that like they're the real deal, and it's important that we take them seriously. So. Takeaway for me is the Heat are the real deal. The Bucks are kind of in trouble. I think as a franchise right now is like they got to pay Chris Middleton, who's not that good, and they're paying Giannis, and Giannis kind of made a joke like about leaving for the Warriors, and that's not really cool to me. Like that would sketch me out if I was in the front office, honestly. So you shouldn't be saying that. Yeah. So. We'll see what happens with the Bucks because there's a few people that could walk out the door and they don't have a franchise anymore. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like that's
sketched.
It's one of those things like Giannis is arguably one of the best players in the league, and like y'all can't even
easily top 5.
Yeah, and y'all couldn't win more than one game against the Heat. That like they were good, but like
you got a chip Bucks. Too. You got the chip.
Yeah, y'all got a chip, but like at the end of the day, like that was
now.
We're talking about what's going on right now in the league, not what happened 2 years ago. And like, I mean, Giannis is goated for sure,
100%
but like,
first ballot.
You're gonna be based off of what's going on right now, and as of right now, you didn't even make it out the first round.
Yeah.
So
it was a failure.
It was Giannis. I don't really like that, honestly. Like I think you can fail, but as long as you know that what you went through and stuff makes you a better person next year, then I'm comfortable with that.
Right.
But you failed at the end of the day.
Yes, you're going to fail within your success, essentially.
Obviously, you're a champion. You got all these accolades. You're a DPOY MVP. But at the end of the day, man, what people are going to base your career off of and your legacy is chips at the end of the day.
For sure.
And to leave in the first round as a number 1 seed, it doesn't look good on you. It reminds me a lot of like that Dirk season.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So
for sure. It was an interesting one.
Going on into the next series, Miami versus New York.
Yeah.
Well, what are your...
Man, I think New York looked gassed, bro. I think that's kind of like my first takeaway when I was watching this. Because we watched it all.
Yeah.
Like me and CJ have watched pretty much like every game. I got League Pass and I made sure I was watching, and that was kind of my first initial takeaway. It was like New York just looked tired. I think Thibodeau playing Brunson, Randall, 48 minutes, because again,
that's just how he coaches.
And this is after 82 games.
Yeah, this is
really stacking up.
Been.
Yeah, he's always
even
been like that.
Even when he was in Chicago,
no, for sure.
Like it's just how he coaches.
Yeah, dude. And for me, like I respect that. Like play your stars, of course, but like these guys are gonna burn out. Yeah. So that was kind of my first take. Was New York looked a little tired, and again, like Jimmy Butler, dude. He's just different. He elevates the Heat to another level. It was kind of like what I saw in the first series, because the Heat have been like this since the beginning of the playoffs. I think since game 1, even in the play-in, I think.
Hell yeah. I mean, they lost that first one, but even then,
they still stormed back. So they were just showing like kind of their resilience as a team, and I was really surprised by that. And again, I've been shocked by what the Heat have been able to achieve still without LeBron. But yeah, those are kind of my two big takeaways. Was that New York looked gas. I don't know if Thibodeau's coaching style fit them for the conference semifinals, and then Jimmy Butler and the Heat are just on a whole nother level than any other Eastern Conference team right now.
Yeah, same thing. After Miami beat the Bucks, I was like, they're probably gonna beat the Knicks. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. That was kind of already my mentality going into this series. The Knicks are an all right team, you know what I mean? They're like they're
solid,
very weird team though. Like,
they're up and down.
You know, like they're just really streaky. Like Brunson is their best player, hands 100%. Down. Randall is like second, but
they can't score. Really.
And he gets just like the way he plays. Like he plays like he's like a big body. I mean, he's a big body, but like I don't know. Like I'm not gonna trust him at the end of the day. He's not like. He plays like LeBron, but he's not LeBron.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
He's lefty.
And it's different.
It's different.
Two lefties. Their two best players are lefties. For sure. It's kind of crazy to think.
It's interesting.
Relatively
similar feelings.
Yeah, Thibs is like your coaching style, like, and you've always been like this. And like, who am I to say I'm not an NBA coach? But like, don't play your players all game. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's just simple knowledge to me, at least. I mean, this is why you have a 12-man roster. You may not be using every 12.
It might go to 8-man roster in the playoffs.
And I think that's just more of like, and I feel like the Knicks have that.
Yeah, they have that depth.
Bench players.
I think Quickly was hurt.
Quickly was injured, I think, like the third or fourth game or something. But
it was like a little while into the series. But
I mean, still, like, I feel like that's just one of those coaching things. Like, and he's always been like that, though. Like, and that's always, like, I watched a lot of, like, obviously YouTube videos about NBA, and like, everyone like that's like the knock on Thibs. Like, he's a great defensive coach. He's gonna like always have them in the games and stuff, and it may not score a lot, but they're gonna hold the other team to a low amount of points, and that's all you need. So it's a cool coaching style, and I think it's something that the league,
respectable.
Yeah, the league, it's dope to see that because usually it's just all offense, but. In the playoffs, man, when you're going against a team that just came off beating the number 1 seed,
tons of energy.
Yeah, they're loaded,
hungry.
Man. Yeah, they have a chip on their shoulder.
And like CJ said, it's just not a formula for success when like you just drive your star players into the ground and that's all you have. Because then when you run Jalen Brunson out of gas and Randall out of gas, you don't have like any backup superstars you can just plug in there. So
not at all.
Those are kind of our takeaways from that series.
Absolutely.
And then Philadelphia, Boston. Man, this is a crazy one. It went 7. Obviously, it was a battle. I think Embiid's knee really played an impact. Like, we could really see he got gassed too.
Shout out to James.
Yeah, shout out James Harden game 1.
I don't like the disrespect.
You don't like the slander. You can talk about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro. I do not. I can't. Stand.
I don't either. I don't know. Why
yeah, bro. The James Harden slander, man. I just think like people don't appreciate like the players like that were watching in real time, you know what I mean? Like they are always like, oh, wish I would have seen this player. It's like, no, bro, like appreciate what you have in front of you. Like James Harden is arguably like one of the best point guards we've like ever had in this league. And like people just look past it just because of what he's doing now. And it's like, he has, obviously, we saw it in this series. He has the ability to score 45 points or that you 47
need.
Or whatever
like
it
you
is.
need
like,
50. Like
he got you, and then I mean that was kind of my little rant. But he went crazy in that game 1.
Yeah,
and then obviously on paper,
it was a big game 1 though. That game 1 helped them out so much.
Yeah, because was Embiid hurt that game?
Yeah, Embiid didn't play, and again, it was more of like that narrative was still surrounding James Harden, and I think again that game we'll get there, but the game 7 performance, I think it's just sometimes he disappears when you need it, but I think he also has shown up and he doesn't get the credit when he shows up. Yeah, because everybody else gets credit when they show up. Yeah, sometimes James Harden doesn't get credit when he shows up in the playoffs, which is weird. But I think again, I think Boston just kind of just had more depth and better coaching.
I think Boston was just a better team. personally.
Yeah.
Like you said, depth. Like they
Brogdon.
Brogdon, fucking Derek White,
like players like that.
You know,
like the Sixers just don't have.
No, they don't. They have
defenders that can hoop, get you a bucket if 20 points if you need.
Who was off the bench for Philadelphia? Like,
bro, they got D'Anthony Melton.
Yeah.
Who else? Like Paul Reed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Shake Milton, like guys like that.
Yeah.
Who else? They had a Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
like
I'm not saying y'all aren't nice. We know who y'all are. Like, you guys are hoopers, but it's just different depth.
Y'all were the number 3 team because of Embiid and James Harden.
Right. This regular season, the MVP.
And like that's fine. Like, you know, y'all have like the young players and, you know, James Harden, rightfully so, and Embiid as well. Like, I mean, MVP, like they're different, you know. So, but I mean, going against a stacked team like the Celtics, it's just, and then I mean, I guess like going into like that 7th game, like that really was on Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, I think Curry's record lasted for like a week and a half.
And then
and then Tatum put up like 51 or 50 whatever.
Yeah.
That game showed me a lot. I think Embiid went ghost.
Embiid and Harden both went ghost,
and that's a serious problem.
Yeah, they got blown out.
And it's a problem because I know he's one of the MVP, you know, for years now, and I think he deserved it this season. I'm not to say Jokic. Obviously, Jokic is Jokic, but
he could have.
Embiid was, you know, he was hooping. But you can't disappear like that when your team needs you most, and
he like the avatar,
and that's like your legacy, man. Like your legacy's the Kawhi Leonard game winner, the disappearing in Game 7, just stuff like that sticks with you, man. And we'll get into a segment a little bit later after we finish, man. But we'll kind of talk about how that impacts.
Yeah, I would say just going straight into the conference finals.
Yeah.
It's actually still going on right now. You know, we're shooting this on the 24th right now, so the playoffs. I mean, the finals doesn't even start for a week, so we'll probably try to record.
It starts in June.
Yeah, we'll record another one before that, or as it starts, or whatever. You know, kind of our thoughts and stuff on it. But going to this
have a stream too.
Yeah, Miami is up 3-1 against Boston.
This series has been cool.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
So we saw the Nuggets swept the Lakers, so it wasn't really super interesting. This one's more interesting to me. I'm sure you can agree. It's just interesting to see how Boston's cracked and how they've kind of ran out of gas. And I think I'm kind of coming up with a theme here, but the theme is running out of gas. And I talked to CJ about it off camera, but players can't say that they're exhausted.
Yeah,
because we'll be like, oh, that's not an excuse, whatever. That's just real, though.
Yeah,
like they're
we're all
human.
Exhausted.
We're all exhausted.
Realistically, at the end of the day,
that's a life thing, honestly.
Yeah. Like if you really want it, you're gonna bust your ass to get to there.
Exactly, and I think that's kind of a recurring thing I'm getting to, though, is like when you do something for years and years and you continuously take punches. Boston's taken so many punches. They took punches last year in the finals from Curry. They've taken punches years before from Braun and all these legendary players. It takes a toll on you, man.
It does.
And I don't know if y'all can tell, but if y'all have been watching, their body language just looks like shit.
Yeah.
So the Celtics probably aren't winning this series. If they do, well then disregard everything I'm saying.
Everything he said right there, I guess.
Disregard everything I'm saying, obviously, because it has no credibility. They're going to the finals.
Dude, imagine?
Yeah, if they did that, that would be
down
crazy.
3-0.
Yeah, I would look like a fool. But yeah, I just think Boston for me is just they're just burnt out, and I think that excuse can't be used often. But that's just the reality of it. And the Heat, again, not burnt out. They have energy. They have Jimmy Butler. Yeah. They got Max Strus. And again, the role players
have been hooping.
That's another theme of this year's playoffs. Yes. The role players have been hooping.
Yes, bro.
They have been hooping.
I think
to get some.
I feel like that's very eye opening for these teams as well. Like they're seeing that, like we need a star player to get us to this point, but we also need bench depth in order to get to the finals.
100%.
You know what I mean?
To the finals where it matters.
Yes, like realistically, that's where you want to be. Like we could do good during the season, but if we can't even get to our conference finals, then what's the point?
What's the point?
We need depth. We need to be able to.
And you're still spending the money.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you're gonna spend that money regardless.
You're gonna spend that money regardless, and be in the tax and again, like the new bargaining agreement, like. You don't get any extra thing for like saving your tax cap. You don't get any like there's no carryover for saving your cap. So basically, like the Spurs, they have to spend that cap whenever they draft Victor Wembanyama. They have to go get they have to go get free agents, or they have to pay somebody. They have to figure out a way to spend that cap because there's no more carryover with how there used to be. So it's just different. But yeah, I think it's just that like the Celtics look tired. They did win a game last night. What did you watch? I watched on the plane.
We were shooting. I was watching kind of sorta
sparingly.
Like not as.
I got to watch fully.
Yeah.
And
what'd you think?
I thought it was really interesting. I thought the Heat were gonna sweep them.
Yeah.
Up until the third quarter.
Yeah, let's say like after second half type.
Yeah, Jason Tatum started going nuclear, and that's where again, like I'm a Lakers fan. Obviously, I'm not a big Jason Tatum fan, but I respect him, and like. It says a lot about his character to go out and put like 50 points in game 7s and stuff like that. So he's obviously like confident.
A great player,
he's a great player in what he does. And I think that I think, the Celtics are going to, if they lose the next game, I think they're going to have a lot of decisions this offseason of whether or not who they're going to pay. And kind of like, I think Jaylen Brown's a kind of wild card. I don't know if he's going to play for them anymore. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I think they both had it in their contract if they make like an all NBA team.
Yeah, they
have
get
to pay
the max.
So
yeah.
They both made the first and second, so they're gonna have to pay that back if they're gonna want to keep that duo.
They both deserve it, man. They're both.
Would
hoopers.
you, as obviously you're a Lakers fan, but as a GM, would you pay both of them to still keep them, or would you try to?
I would because I would because I see the NBA as a stars league. If you don't have guys that can go get you 30 each, you're not winning. So. I think if you pay them, you figure out a way to get some depth around you. Like the Lakers proved,
Shit, they already have depth. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like they just can't win.
Well, no. They'd have to figure out a way to pay the depth.
Yeah.
Like they can pay them right now because they
don't have to.
They don't have to pay the max yet. But yeah, the Celtics will probably be a luxury penalty team
for sure.
Because they'll be way over the tax. Yeah. But that. Yeah. So I think for me though, if I'm a GM, I'm paying whatever to get stars because I need that to win. You have to have stars to win. Yeah, it's just factual. Yeah. So I think that right there off the top is what I'm doing. I'm pretty aggressive in that way. For sure. What about you?
Yeah, same way. Yeah, especially like
aggressive in that way.
I don't know though. Like if
you're willing to pull out the checkbook to have your stars on the team.
Yeah, and I think just being a Thunder fan and seeing what could have been with Harden, KD, and Westbrook because we let him walk because we didn't want to be in the luxury tax. Yeah. It's one of those things where we should have we could have bit the bullet right there because I think Harden wasn't wanting too much. He was just wanting more than what it would have got them in the luxury tax if he would have stayed and OKC didn't want that, so they paid Serge instead. That was one of the things. Keeping both stars, I feel like is great, but honest, I don't know. They just haven't they've been together for 7 years.
They haven't got it done,
and it hasn't accounted to anything besides. I mean, I guess conference finals, which yeah, but y'all are the Celtics, you know.
Yeah, that narrative's true.
Celtics are that team in the NBA, the Patriots, you know what I mean? They're the highly touted teams that you expect to win a championship.
No, for sure.
And they just haven't. So I don't know. Definitely
it's like the hamster wheel.
Yeah,
just running in circles.
Definitely one of those things where
it's interesting.
Great players, and I would like them to be on the same team. But realistically, if that's gonna put y'all in a hole, I say let
look around,
shop around, maybe trade one of them, see what you could get, because you could definitely get a lot of good players, and that might be what you need. You know what I mean? We were saying the depth is kind of what is this series or this playoffs,
the most important.
So,
we'll transition to kind of our predictions. Who do you think is going to be in the finals?
I think Miami is going to pull.
Okay, so Miami and Denver.
Yeah, Miami, Denver.
Okay, so how do you think that's going to turn out?
I want Miami to win, but I have a feeling that just Jokic and the way they've been playing would be too much for them, and I think they would probably win in.
Let me spin you this question: if Jokic wins this finals and wins the finals MVP, do you think he's how do you think this impacts his legacy? Whereas if Jimmy were to win it and be, finals MVP, how does that impact his?
So I think if Jokic won this NBA finals, he would probably be one of the greatest big men of all time.
Probably.
And I feel like he's
probably top 3 and not 3.
He's already at that point now. I think the only thing he's missing is a championship. And then
Finals MVP.
And a Finals MVP. And if he wins this, then it would just be like, oh, you got to win more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's like the only. That's gonna be the only thing you're gonna be holding against him.
Right,
because,
like you just have to keep climbing after that.
like how you do with LeBron.
Yeah.
Oh, you broke the all-time scoring record. Oh, well, you only have 4 championships.
Yeah, you got to win another one.
You got to win another one.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I mean?
sure.
So, and it's just that type of thing. But if Jimmy were to win this, I feel like it would be a crazy thing. Just because
I want Jimmy to win it.
He's been an underdog. Me too. And I like Miami just as a squad, like a young franchise that have been consistently winning. Throughout all
they have
their
a really
history.
cool front office.
Like a culture.
really good culture.
And I think that's the thing that we
shout out the Heat.
Yeah, that's the Heat culture, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing with Cleveland that they don't have. And that's why fucking Jared Allen's saying that the lights are too bright.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just different.
It's just different.
But
exactly, dude.
If he were to win, I mean, his legacy would be crazy, but he is obviously not gonna be the greatest small forward of all time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think if he wins the finals, though, he's automatically Hall of Famer. Like, no debate.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
If Jimmy Butler wins this NBA championship, he's a Hall of Famer without a question.
For sure.
Like, nobody's gonna question it.
Yeah. But
that's what I think he gets if he wins.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Do you think if he doesn't win a championship, is he still a Hall of Famer?
I think yes, but I think people will question it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But if Jimmy wins,
if Tracy McGrady's the Hall of Famer, I feel like he would be. Right?
Yeah, I think Jimmy Butler's going to get there. If that makes you feel any better, like I think Jimmy's gonna be one even if he didn't get it. But I think seeing Jimmy get like a finals, bro, this year, especially with how crazy the playoffs has been against Jokic, bro, that would be huge for his legacy. I think it would also there's some other players I'm not thinking about, but like a Kevin Love, like getting another ring, or like Jamal Murray getting a ring, like other players that just haven't really gotten an opportunity. I think it'll be the Heat and the Nuggets too.
Who do you think's gonna win that?
Well, I want to say Miami, but I think Denver will. I think Denver's they're probably one of the best teams I've seen in the last 5 years. Honestly, like this version of the Nuggets.
Do you think they're better than the Warriors last year?
Yes, but barely. It's just because Jokic is better than Curry, in my opinion. Like, just
Denver this year has a better, their best player is better than the Warriors last year.
Right, and their nucleus is around the same. Like they have guys
Good
that can kind of do everything. Like Aaron Gordon's a Swift Army knife.
Oh,
and they have
nice,
MPJ.
bro.
They got Jamal Murray. They got shooters. KCP.
Yeah.
They got the Nuggets.
They're nice, man.
The Nuggets are nice.
They're really good.
The Nuggets are nice. Like they should win the finals.
Yeah,
they really should. So. I think you can agree.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I think I would say 6, and I that's like
Nuggets and 6.
Giving it, Nuggets and 6,
Okay.
and that's just giving that those 2 wins pretty much on Jimmy Butler's back type shit.
Okay,
I think he's gonna do his thing. Obviously, he's been doing it the whole series, playoffs, and then their bench players stepping up as well. I feel like they're gonna keep fire.
Like Caleb Martin. Shout out Caleb Martin.
Max
he doesn't
Strus.
really get a lot of love. Max Strus doesn't. So it's cool to see them hooping, because I know if they're hooping in the finals too, if they get to go, because they haven't won yet. But I know they'll be able to show that off. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see. 100%.
Excited for it.
Yeah, dude.
I guess that was the playoff little recap so far.
Recap of the entire playoffs.
Whenever the NBA Finals starts, whenever the Miami Boston series gets done, we'll have an official what our thoughts on the NBA playoffs. We're trying to pump this hoops content out, but I think we could go into our next little segment that you wanted to talk about. And what was your question you would have for us?
Yeah, I think mainly I just wanted to see I don't know, man. I wanted to talk about kind of how, I guess, winning I guess does playoff success impact your success in your career as a player, your overall I guess you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know how to phrase that question, but does playoff success implicate career success, I guess what you could say. Okay. So if a player is successful in the playoffs, does that mean he had a successful career, or can a player just be a regular season player, maybe not show up in the playoffs, whatever, maybe he doesn't have an NBA
so
finals?
James Harden.
I don't
like he's probably one of the best
James
regular
Harden's
season
kind
players, but he never really steps up in the
right.
playoffs.
I guess like a James Harden. Yeah. That's kind of what I wanted to chat about.
So I guess in that circumstance, and I mean it's kind of different with everyone, but I think I kind of see where you're trying to take it with like the whole if they don't do good in the playoffs, are they still considered like a good player?
A good player.
So I guess in the whole James Harden question, I think as a player, he's one of the best players we've ever seen. Regular season, playoffs, he definitely has his lulls and stuff, but I think that's just more of his play style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he's just a very ball dominant player, so he's gonna have the ball and he's gonna get tired. He's not gonna be able to, especially now. He's not gonna be able to score.
Well, bro, I have like a crazy like it's crazy that you're bringing up James Harden. Like for me, it's Anthony Davis.
Oh, okay.
Because like I got one personal close to home because I'm a Lakers fan. Like I've experienced that inconsistency like in the playoffs.
Okay.
And like he has his injuries and stuff, but I think like for me, I think it does put a damper on like your career a little bit.
Yeah,
in
I think it
terms
does.
of like, you know, how we view success. It's really about winning a chip and like a ring. And like you can have all the regular season success you want, you know, but if you're not winning like when it matters, like in the playoffs, kind of like when it counts, really, like then you're not going to be considered a player in that upper echelon, or like you're not going to be considered of like having that greater success that you could possibly like get to or like achieve because you know you're only reaching that certain amount. So I think it does like to answer my own question, I guess, but I don't know if people see it that way. Yeah. If like other people see it that way, you know what I mean? Because it's different. It's probably different for everybody.
Yeah. I think it's just what like you care about. Obviously,
like a choker or not. Like,
oh, it's tough, man. Like because at the end of the day, winning a championship is a team thing. It's not just an individual. So I'm kind of like I could pick either one. Like I'm really kind of like on the fence about it. Like I think it just depends what player we're talking about.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like there's some players that like I said, James Harden, like he is a great player, but he hasn't made it to NBA Finals. You know what I mean? And
like Joel Embiid.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and y'all choke when it really matters. So
Dude,
like there's not much we can really say about that. You know what I mean? And it sucks because I really like y'all as players. But it definitely does have a impact. Like an impact on your career. Like we as NBA fans, we want to see that you won a championship because that is the end goal for every basketball player.
It's like the ultimate goal too.
Yeah.
Like it's
that's
like
all that really matters.
Yeah,
like you know, I mean, KD, right? Like if he didn't, you know,
right? If he didn't go to the Warriors and like win those two Finals MVPs and like get those rings, I don't think people would talk about him like the way that they do.
Exactly.
And like to your point, it's like you got to really go win. You got to go get that ring. That shit's important for sure.
Hell yeah.
So. I don't know, man. That's an interesting thing because I'm sure other people probably think it's different.
Yeah, I was gonna say let us know in the comments what y'all think.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, because
let us know if you
it's
think
very interesting.
that impacts like how you view a player and what you like about a player. Because honestly, like it doesn't change for me. No. Like if sometimes like Anthony Davis goes in the playoffs, I'm like whatever. It's frustrating, but I still like him as a hooper.
Yeah, he's Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's saved me before. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so I guess this is our next segment of the show. It might not be a recurring segment. I just wanted to have another area to chop it up.
Something fun
and engaging. Of course, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all know about it. Start, bench, cut.
Yeah, we're gonna do some players.
And like we can obviously go back and forth. You know, this could be like a however long segment. But for my first start, bench, cut, let's do Shea.
Okay.
Luka and Donovan Mitchell.
Shea, Luka, and Donovan Mitchell. I'm gonna have to cut D Mitch like off rip. I like Donovan Mitchell, but I don't really like. I don't know. Like between Shea and Luka, those two guys are like generational to me. Like those guys are way taller. They're just more skilled. Like in the post, they're just bigger. So I'm gonna probably cut D Mitch, unfortunately, even though he's my guy. He's cold, but I gotta cut him. I'm gonna start Doncic. You know me, bro. Like that's a hard question to ask me. Cause
I expected that.
Yeah, bro. Like that's my guy. Yeah. Like he should come to the Lakers. I hope if Steph doesn't work out in Dallas, I think he's gonna go to LA.
Really?
But that's a whole nother conversation.
But you hear that now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back to this if he,
2023. Yeah. Like, what is it, May 24th?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I'm starting Luka. I mean, he's a genius, bro, and he's different. He's a unicorn. He's just once in a lifetime. So
yeah.
And then what was it?
Shea.
Yeah, Shea. And then obviously, I'm gonna bench Shea. Gotta have him come off the bench, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think Shea is really, really lanky, special. Yeah. Bro, OKC's cooking us something special. I know that makes you happy.
Dude, I am so happy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good three though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bench Shea, but he's my guy. He's still first team All NBA. I didn't forget. So.
Yeah. I hope y'all didn't forget.
Yeah,
really,
no, I didn't forget.
I think I was saying I would cut Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great player, but out of those two other players, just not to that caliber.
Not to our liking. Even though he's a bucket.
He's a bucket, yeah, but
he went for 70, bro. Like,
yeah, absolutely. He's cold, but out of those two, nah. And then this might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna actually bench Luka Doncic.
Okay.
And that might be a little thunder bias to me. But
that's controversial, bro.
It's a little controversial, but I'll take it, Like, let me know. Like, because that might be a little biased, but I don't know. I've witnessed Shea win games for us. So, and he is like that. Like, and it's dope that just who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he is like a fashion icon.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
He
He's
can
more
also
than
get 30 and 10 on the court as well.
He grew so much, man.
He's a dope player, and honestly, I really like him. So I would definitely start.
I can
Shea.
understand that.
But that might be a thunder bias, but
I mean, they're both all stars. So I mean, all three of them were. But
let me. I'll give you another one, sir.
Okay. Bet.
Start, bench, cut, playoff edition.
Okay, go ahead.
Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jokic, and LeBron James.
Man, dude, that's a hard three. I'm gonna have to start Jokic. I'm just say that. Like,
off rip.
Yeah, off rip. Like, that dude is really, really special. He's just been going crazy. I think, dude, he's had a historic playoffs this year. So I'm gonna have to start him. Like, obviously, I'm probably gonna have to. I can't believe you. Oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. The way Jimmy's playing, I'm gonna have to bench Jimmy. I'm playing Jimmy Butler over Braun right now. Like, I don't think I'm crazy for that. Mm-hmm. Like, I gotta. I'm a Lakers fan, and I'm saying that. Like, he got me to say that, but
that's crazy.
I'm going with Jimmy buckets, bro, because he's just. I mean, he's got that dog in him. He's young. He's fiery. Like, I know he's gonna get me to where I need to go. Braun, I'm gonna have to cut Braun because Braun, like, he didn't really show up. Like, he had 4. Okay.
He had 40.
Bro, he had 40 in game 4 loss, but he had 30 in the first half. So
31.
Like, 31. So he disappeared
in the second half.
That was really frustrating for me.
But he also played like every minute.
Yeah, he played. He was really tight. He was gassed too, honestly. So, but that's my 3, honestly.
I would probably say the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start Jokic. I mean, obviously Jokic is fucking. Seeing him get a triple double is like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's like how Westbrook was when he was averaging a triple-double. Like, you just kind of expect it at this point.
Yeah,
now
he's just getting triple-doubles left and right.
At that 30-point triple-double, and he is fading away, hitting threes in y'all's probably best defender.
Multiple times. Like, not once.
Shot clock expiring. Like, not much you could do about that. I would probably bench Jimmy. And honestly, I feel like that's one of those good debate questions because I feel like dude. Someone could debate starting Jimmy. But
yeah, for
personally,
sure.
I just would start Nikola Jokic.
Have to.
Bench Jimmy, cut LeBron. LeBron had a decent playoffs, but I feel like it was gassed. More of a team.
Yeah,
like the Lakers' success this year. So
heck yeah. I'm gonna hit you with one.
Yeah,
I think I got a good one. I'm gonna do Wilt Chamberlain. I'm gonna do big Shaquille O'Neal or Hakeem.
Oh,
no Jokic because you already said him.
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah. You said Wilt, Hakeem, Shaq. Sheesh.
Those are good ones.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm probably starting Hakeem.
Wow, really?
Off rip.
I was not gonna say that.
Yeah, starting Hakeem.
Why?
I feel like he's. I feel like just people forget like how good of a player Hakeem was.
Dude, he was really good, honestly.
NBA
he was really good.
Back-to-back NBA champion when Jordan retired for 2 seasons. DPOY, leader in blocks.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. He had the dream shake, revolutionized the big man moves.
Houston alum.
Fucking baby Shaq in the in the Eastern or in the finals that year that they won 95.
He was torching everybody.
So and I think Hakeem, for me personally, I like more like Shaq is great. Don't get me wrong. Like probably one of the most unstoppable players in the league.
Oh, bro.
A force to be reckoned with. But Hakeem as a skilled player is just better in my opinion. Yeah. And he was able to like kind of finesse his way to the basket. But he was also a great defense player. So Hakeem
underrated for
start bench. Probably Shaq.
Okay.
And then cut Will. I think it's just more of a generational thing.
Okay.
I don't I can't really speak on Will. I know his greatness. I know he's scored 100 points in a game, but it's one of those things where I didn't get to see it personally. Yeah. And I mean, maybe that might be a little ignorance to me, but it's just one of those things. It might be just a recency bias type of deal. I was able to see what Shaq was doing and how dominant of a force he was.
No, heck yeah. Like, Wilt was, like, running around like Giannis before Giannis was Giannis. Yeah. Like, Wilt on all these plumbers and stuff.
Yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, no, I'm going to cut Wilt, too. Right. I'm not, like, a huge Wilt fan. Yeah. I respect what he's done, though. I think he, like, changed the game in a sense where it's, like, he was kind of the first dominant big man. Yeah. Or not dominant big man, but to be that dominant, right? Like, 40 rebounds, 80 points, ridiculous. Like just crazy
like
stuff.
Video game numbers. Like,
Bill Russell was really the first, George Mike and those guys holler at them. But cutting Wilt, just like you said, a generational thing. I'm going to have to bench Hakeem. Mm-hmm. The dream is the dream. So, like, he's got the dream shake. He's got the patented moves. Okay. He'll sauce you in the post. Like you said, he's a defensive player of the year. What did he win finals MVP too?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, Hakeem is the real deal. But, I just got to go with Shaq, man. Like, Shaq is, I'm going to start Shaq. Like, he's dunking on everybody. He's a brick wall. Yeah. You're not getting through Shaq. Like, and honestly, I'm going to pick Magic Shaq too. Like, I'm going to go with the young, athletic, he kind of got some movement to him, Shaq. Yeah. That's the one I love. I think that's the one I'm going to start for sure. Yeah. Super athletic. Yeah. I'm rocking with Shaq.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
I'll fuck with that one.
100%.
All right, let's do...
one more?
Yeah, we could do one more. Give me one more, yeah.
Okay, for sure. Can I do guards?
Sure. Yeah, do it, whatever.
Isaiah Thomas. Okay. Like, Pistons, Isaiah Thomas. For sure. John Stockton, and Steve Nash.
Ooh.
Those are 3 good ones.
That's a good one.
I don't even know. That's gonna be tough for me to
answer. Fuck, dude.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Actually, I didn't think about it.
You said Isaiah Thomas, Steve Nash, John Stockton.
Yeah.
I think off rip, start Isaiah Thomas.
Wow.
I think
that's who I'm going with too.
Yeah, it's just the way he is as a player, leader, played defense, wasn't a big guard, but was still very crafty and
super,
just a good leader for that bad boys team. Mm-hmm. He kind of set the tone for them winning back-to-back championships. Yeah, you know what I mean, so I would say start him, and then this is when it kind of gets tough. I never really liked the John Stockton slander. Okay. But I think I would have to cut Stockton.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
Personally, I think Steve Nash is just
super cold, bro.
Super cold. Obviously he won back-to-back MVPs as well. Yeah. Very controversial. Some people say Kobe should have won. Yeah. Which is understandable, but
I think Nash was...
I think he revolutionized the game in a different aspect as we say Steph changed the game. We say Jokic is changing the game. We said LeBron changed the game.
Oh, for sure.
Nash was in that in-between of he's not crazy athletic. He's not like a 7-foot demigod like how KD is, but he was a player that just knew how to play ball. Yeah. And played at especially that system he was in, that 7 seconds offense.
Yeah, bro, 7 seconds or less.
That changed the game. Yeah, that changed the game, bro. He was essentially Harden before Harden.
For sure.
Steve Nash wasn't as big as Harden, but he probably could shoot and pass the ball maybe even better than Harden, realistically. So, bench Steve Nash just off of his like cultural impact in a way that like a lot of people like I feel like forget about, you know.
Man, honestly, my list is the same. I'm starting Isaiah Thomas. I just think he's a leader, man. On and off the floor, he played defense. He's Chicago bred, so he's really got that dog in him. The Pistons were just really sick team. When I was doing my research, of course, as a young man and as a man now, it's interesting to see how they played and how rough they played. Really,
they gave Jordan problems.
Yeah, bro.
That's what
crazy.
made. I feel like how we talk about everything has happened for you for a reason. Yeah. The Pistons were in MJ's way for a reason.
For sure. If he couldn't get build past, him up.
Yeah, like he 100%. Needed that to build him up to be what he turned into. You know 100%. What I mean? Like that roadblock in his career that he had to overcome, and it made him train harder than he had ever
get
been.
Stronger, faster.
Everything.
All that stuff. So I agree, man. I'm gonna probably bench Stockton. Yeah, just because honestly, I mean he had Karl Malone, which I think is kind of a cheat code if you ask me. Like, because I would be throwing a lot of assists too.
Yeah, that pick and roll offense was crazy.
I'm not gonna say Nash didn't have anybody. He had Dirk and like Amari Stoudemire. He had great bigs too, of course. But playing with Karl Malone definitely.
They played their whole career together too.
Yeah, man, they played like
years?
a while. Yeah, a while together, and they just couldn't get
Still
past
couldn't win
Jordan.
a championship.
Yeah, they couldn't get past Jordan, but. That's a whole different thing, but I'm
leader in assists, leader in steals.
Yeah, he's that guy.
All NBA. Like, I feel like he gets disrespected. Like, I don't like the John Stockton slander, but out of those two other guards, I would definitely have to.
And then I'm gonna have to bench Nash. I think he's just different, like you said. Kind of, you already explained it earlier, but I think he changed the game in an underrated way. He kind of was like the facilitator. He kind of showed me, or at least inspired me to like.
Want to pass,
like, and think that was cool, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like him and Rondo. Really,
Rondo, yeah, the little behind the back.
Him and Rondo, bro. If y'all know, bro, him and Rondo really
made me want to pass the ball,
changed the passing games, and White Chocolate, of course, but a little bit before our time, but. Yeah, players like that really, they showed me that getting an assist was just as cool
as scoring.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire, bro.
For sure. Yeah.
So I guess we'll wrap it up with this end of the pod. Just kind of talking about what our direction is for 3-Man Weave.
Yeah, like where it's headed.
Yeah, this is our first episode. So kind of working out the kinks. I feel like we kind of bounced well off of each other. So it was easy for us to chop it up and stuff because we're just talking hoops at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But we kind of do want to have a direction with this as well. We kind of want to be meaningful with the content that we're posting.
Make sure you guys want to see what you're seeing.
Exactly. So I think for upcoming episodes and stuff, obviously NBA Finals is coming up, so we'll probably have like an NBA Finals podcast, kind of discuss. Maybe depending on when we started, like wherever we're at in the series, kind of talk about our favorite finals moments that we've ever experienced as a grown up or a little kid or just in our life, and just kind of keep it pushing with the content.
Yeah, like what we're trying to do. Yeah, like CJ was kind of saying earlier, like we kind of want to go through those moments. We wanted to kind of do maybe like a little stream, like a little final stream, because like we said at the beginning, I haven't watched the game with you yet.
No, never.
So maybe
we'll watch like a half for like a first half or a second half,
something like that. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just gonna do a review of the finals and make sure we keep you guys updated with our thoughts and stuff like that. But it's really excited, you know, to get this started. I mean, 3-Man Weave is what it's about. So,
hey, bro.
Yeah, I'm
it's exciting, man. And then of course, like after the season, we could probably even talk about like the off season, and then maybe like previews for this upcoming season, like who we think, like projections, all that type of stuff. Like we kind of want it to be, and we'll obviously discuss about it off camera and stuff, and then we'll keep you guys updated
and stuff like that.
It's one of those things where we definitely want to keep the content pushing for this,
100%.
But just depending on where we're at with what we have going on with our personal lives and what we're trying to build up with PCT and ATD and stuff like that. So we definitely have a lot going on, but we'll try to at least probably get one. Probably like how much you think realistic? How many times would you want to get this
one
podcast?
out. Honestly, we could do it like once a week if you want. Yeah, like I'm really about it like that. I don't really see why we couldn't. We can also do different, like you were kind of saying earlier. It's like it can be different. Like it could be a segment, right? Yeah. So we could do like literally, we could do the start bench cut. That could be the video for the week. Yeah. Like it doesn't have to be an hour. This is the intro video. This is so like it's longer. Like you know what I mean. It's gonna be a longer one, and that's kind of what me and CJ wanted it to be because we need to introduce ourselves. But we'll format it. We'll figure out a way. But I think we could try to get it weekly for you guys.
Hell yeah.
And just have it be pretty updated. And of course, during the off season, it'll be a little bit different. We might change the schedule. Or we might have like one big episode where we kind of talk. We go through, all 30 teams and what they need to do or something like that. Or we'll have like a big stream or something like that. But
absolutely.
For now, I think that's kind of what to expect from us is like we'll try to get together every week and chat about it.
Yeah. So we appreciate y'all for listening and watching the podcast.
For sure.
If y'all would like to
100%.
hop on the pod, or if y'all have any questions you would like us to talk about, leave in the comment section below. We'll have all ZD socials in the description 100%. And all the shout out A-Town Down,
stuff,
all that good stuff.
All that extra stuff.
We'll put everything in the description. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time, guys. Peace. 3-man weave at you. Bang, 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 bang.